Here with UFC light heavyweight Jon Jones, headlining the UFC's first card on Versus. We just got back from the weigh-ins. You know, you got a little bit in Brandon Vera's face. Can you tell us about why you may have did that?
Something I usually do with all my opponents. I like to get nice and close. I usually don't look the opponents in the eyes or anything. And I really had no intentions of it getting like that out of control. I think Dana White separating us like that kind of amped it up and made it a little more wild. But we would have gotten really close and nothing would have happened. It's I don't know, adrenaline. You know, I'm ready for this fight. You know, I'm like a dog on a chain. Let me go so I can go fight. But yeah, it was a little out of character for me to lose my cool. But I'm just really ready, and I want the fight to be over.
Back in 2005, were you watching Brandon Vera's ascent in mixed martial arts? You know, when he first came to the UFC and made a big splash. And if so, how did you feel about him at the time watching?
Yeah, I remember watching Brandon Vera when I got my UFC contract, leading up to my UFC debut. I remember being a bouncer at a bar and watching him on the big screen with some of the local guys from my town, and saying, "Wow, this guy is really good." And you know, one day I'm gonna have to fight this guy. Knowing my style and what it was back then, and knowing where I wanted to be, I just kind of predicted that I will be fighting him one day, and it's come true. So, you know, I feel really good about the fight, and you know, I'm excited. You know, Brandon Vera is really good, and he's a really good striker and really respected. And if I can dominate him, that's gonna be huge for me.
You were winning the fight with Matt Hamill before the incidental elbow and the disqualification that ended up happening. Does that fight and the way it ended motivate you more to come in and have a great performance here in this headlining bout?
It doesn't motivate me more as if I lost the fight or anything, but it just makes me believe more, you know, that I can be on the top and I can compete with some of these better fighters. So, yeah, just the whole performance was one big learning experience. And if anything, you know, if I can take such a great fighter like Matt Hamill and do such a great job in the octagon with him, it just reassures that I can be here and I can compete with these elite guys.
What's been the biggest difference between these two camps that you've had at Greg Jackson's? You know, you did the last camp with Hamill and now this camp. What's been the biggest difference between the two?
Well, everything's been pretty much the same. I'm doing a lot more striking with Coach Phil Nurse and Mike Winkeljohn, two really good striking coaches with two completely different styles, but you know, they merge together real nicely. You know, Winkeljohn is really good on distance and the meat and potatoes, you know, punching power and things like that. You know, Phil Nurse is really unorthodox, really mixes it up really well. Both of them come together. You know, they're making my stand-up just so much better. Training-wise, I guess, you know, I'm not doing bulky weightlifting training for this fight. I'm doing a lot of agility and a lot of fast twitch type of training. You know, Brandon Vera is not really the biggest, strongest guy, so with Matt Hamill fight, I wanted to make sure his strength wasn't too big of an issue. This fight, I want to make sure that my speed and agility is Brandon's issue, so that's the way we kind of did this.
What can fans expect from you tomorrow night?
You know what? I've never predicted anything, but I really would like to knock Brandon out. I really would. You know, he's disrespectful, and I think he's arrogant and full of himself, and it would really be good to knock him out.
Thanks, Jon Jones. Appreciate it.